Good afternoon. Please sit down. Before I begin, I want to take a moment to talk about today's news and the attempted attacks on President Clinton, President Obama, their families, public officials, individuals, and organizations. We cannot tolerate those cowardly attacks, and I strongly condemn all who choose violence. I'm grateful to the Secret Service, as well as the local and federal law enforcement, for all they do on a daily basis to keep us safe and encourage people across the country to choose kindness over hatred. I want to welcome you all to the White House to reflect on the progress this administration has made in tackling the opioid crisis, and more importantly, to look ahead at the work still to be done. We are here to talk about the continued actions we are taking to combat the opioid epidemic, which my husband will talk about in a few minutes. I must say I'm proud of our president and the work being done in the White House and across so many agencies to help those affected by drug abuse and addiction. Just last week, I visited Thomas Jefferson University Hospital to learn about their maternal addiction treatment, education, and research program called Matter. This program supports families and babies born with neonatal absence syndrome by providing mothers with the tools they need to help become successful parents. My campaign, Be Best, is committed to helping children and the many issues they face as they grow up. And sadly, drug abuse is one of those issues. Be Best will continue to shine a light on successful programs like Matter that demonstrate positive results for children. Over the past year, I have traveled both nationally and internationally learning about many of the programs offered through private organizations, schools, and hospitals, which are meant to help children and families as they deal with drug addiction. What I constantly hear is the need for support at all levels. Law enforcement needs our support and the resources necessary to stop criminals from putting drugs on the streets. Families need the resources to get treatment and follow-up care for loved ones. Those who are addicted need the support, resources, and guidance to know they are fighting a disease and should not be ashamed. Young mothers need the support necessary to not only beat their addiction, but get the tools needed to become successful parents. Babies born addicted need the resources for treatment, but also need follow-up care for years to come. I was honored to be part of a roundtable comprised of several experts at Thomas Jefferson University Hospital that was convened to help with the design and implementation of a new initiative the Department of Health and Human Services is working on to measure the long-term health outcomes and needs of infants suffering from neonatal absence syndrome. As a nation, we must come together to fight this epidemic by providing as many resources as possible, and I know that as long as my husband is in office, this will remain a priority. Fighting opioid abuse goes across all party lines. Thank you all for being here and being part of the fight to end this epidemic. It is now my honor to introduce the President of the United States.
I want to thank you very much, Melania. I know how hard you've worked on this, and that's just one of many languages that you know. So it's just amazing the way you can do it. Thank you very much, darling. Appreciate it. Also, I want to thank Mrs. Pence for being here. You have been just so terrific working alongside of our great Vice President, and thank you very much, Karen. Really appreciate it. I'd like to begin today's remarks by providing an update on the suspicious packages and devices mailed to current and former high-ranking government officials. The safety of the American people is my highest and absolute priority. I have just concluded a briefing with the FBI, Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, and the U.S. Secret Service. As we speak, the packages are being inspected by top explosive experts, and a major federal investigation is now underway. The full weight of our government is being deployed to conduct this investigation and bring those responsible for these despicable acts to justice. We will spare no resources or expense in this effort. And I just want to tell you that in these times, we have to unify. We have to come together and send one very clear, strong, unmistakable message that acts or threats of political violence of any kind have no place in the United States of America. Thank you very much. It's a very bipartisan statement. I can tell you from both sides, we both agree on that. This egregious conduct is abhorrent to everything we hold dear and sacred as Americans. My administration will provide additional updates as they become available, and I just want to thank everybody for their understanding. We're extremely angry, upset, unhappy about what we witnessed this morning, and we will get to the bottom of it.